There was once a young man named Kaito who lived in a bustling city. Despite having a good job, friends, and a comfortable life, Kaito often felt an unexplainable sadness that lingered in his heart. No matter how many distractions he sought, how much he indulged in pleasures, or how hard he worked, the sadness always returned, like a cloud that never seemed to leave his sky. One evening, feeling particularly low, Kaito decided to seek out the wisdom of a Zen master who was said to live on a quiet mountain nearby. This master, Master Hiroshi, was known not for giving answers, but for helping people find their own. Kaito hoped that he could find something, anything, that would lift the heaviness from his heart. The journey to the mountain was long, and by the time Kaito arrived at the master's small hut, the sun was setting. He found Master Hiroshi sitting outside, gazing at the clouds that were turning pink and orange in the evening light. The master turned and greeted Kaito with a kind smile. "What brings you here, young man?" Master Hiroshi asked. Kaito hesitated, unsure of how to put his feelings into words. "Master, I don't know how to explain it," he said. "I have everything I need, yet I feel sad all the time. I thought I would be happy, but there is always this emptiness inside me. Can you help me?" Master Hiroshi nodded thoughtfully. "I see," he said. "Why don't you come inside and have some tea? Perhaps the tea will help us find the answer together." Kaito followed the master into his hut, where a small table was set with 2 cups. The master began to prepare the tea, his movements slow and deliberate, as if each gesture was a meditation. Kaito watched, feeling a little impatient but not wanting to disturb the master's focus. When the tea was ready, Master Hiroshi poured it into Kaito's cup. He continued to pour, even after the cup was full, and the tea began to overflow, spilling onto the table and onto the floor. Kaito watched in shock, unable to understand why the master would do such a thing. "Master!" he exclaimed. "The cup is full. It can't hold any more tea." Master Hiroshi stopped pouring and smiled at Kaito. "Exactly," he said softly. "And so it is with your heart. It is so full of worries, fears, and expectations that there is no room left for peace or joy. Until you empty it, no amount of happiness can fill it." Kaito stared at the overflowing cup, and something in him shifted. He realized that his heart had been heavy because he was carrying so much. Old regrets, worries about the future, expectations of how things should be, and the fear that he would never be enough. His sadness was not a sign that something was missing from his life. It was a sign that he was holding on to too much. "But how do I let go?" Kaito asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "I don't even know where to start." Master Hiroshi gently lifted the teacup and emptied it into a small basin. "Letting go is not something you do all at once," he said. "It is like emptying a cup, little by little. Each time you breathe out, imagine you are releasing a little bit of your burden. Each time you breathe in, let it be a fresh start, a new moment." He then guided Kaito to close his eyes and listen. For a few moments, there was only silence, and then Kaito began to hear the sound of the wind outside, rustling through the trees, carrying with it the faint scent of pine and earth. There was a gentle rhythm to it, a melody that seemed to whisper, "Let go, let go." "Do you hear that?" Master Hiroshi asked. "The wind does not hold on to anything. It moves freely because it does not cling. When you feel sad, listen to the world around you. The wind, the birds, the rain. They all move, they all change, but they do not resist. This is the way of nature, and this can be your way too." Kaito opened his eyes, and for the first time in a long time, he felt a sense of lightness. It was not that his sadness had completely disappeared, but he could see now that it was something he could release, little by little, with each breath, with each moment of presence. "Thank you, Master," he said. "I think I understand now. I have been holding on to everything too tightly, I have been trying so hard to fill my cup without realizing that it was already overflowing. Master Hiroshi nodded. Sadness, like all emotions, is a visitor. It comes and goes. When you stop trying to push it away or hold it too close, it will pass through you like the wind passes through the trees. When you feel sad, do not fear it. Listen to it, learn from it, and then let it go. As Kaito left the mountain that evening, the sky was clear and the stars began to twinkle in the darkening sky. He realized that life, like the sky, was always changing. There would be days when clouds covered the stars, and there would be nights when they shone brightly. But the sky remained, vast and open, no matter what passed through it. From that day on, whenever Kaito felt the familiar heaviness of sadness, he remembered the lesson of the empty teacup. He would sit quietly, close his eyes, and listen to the wind, to the birds, to his own breath. He would let go of a little bit of his burden, and he would feel lighter, freer, knowing that he did not have to carry everything alone. And so, whenever you feel sad, remember this story. Remember that your sadness is not who you are, it is only a visitor. Take a deep breath, listen to the world around you, and let go little by little, like pouring out an overflowing cup. In time, your heart will find space for peace, for joy, and for all the beautiful things that life has to offer. Moral of the story: sadness, like all emotions, is not permanent. It comes and goes, and it often lingers when we hold on to it too tightly. Learning to let go is a practice, a gentle process of releasing our burdens little by little. By being present, by listening to the simple sounds of nature, and by breathing out our worries, we can make space in our hearts for peace and joy. Whenever you feel sad, take a moment to breathe, to listen, and to let go, remembering that this too shall pass.